In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the rear hydraulic brake line on your Nissan Armada. Located behind the rear wheels, let's get started. Using a 21mm socket, go ahead and remove the lug nuts. If you have issues removing the tire, what you can do is just put one lug nut back in, no matter which one you put in. Don't put it all the way, of course. And I'm gonna be using a mallet, and I'm gonna be hitting the tire from the inside. Remove the lug nut that we previously installed. And now we can go ahead and remove the tire. In order to get more access to the brake line, we're gonna go ahead and fold this over. I'm gonna use a small trim tool. Go ahead and pop off this little clip. And once you pop it, you can go ahead and fold these over. And now we have better access to the line. After removing the tire, we're now gonna move behind the caliper. Using a 12mm wrench, go ahead and take the banjo bolt out. Just keep in mind, when you do this, there's gonna be some fluid that's gonna come out. So just make sure you have a container to catch the fluid that's gonna come out. Take the banjo bolt out. When you do this, you wanna make sure you get both of the crush washers that's gonna be on either side of the hose. We're gonna be replacing that. A little tech tip I like to give, if you have a stem just laying around, you can go ahead and shove it through the hose, and that's gonna stop it from leaking. Go ahead and move the hose away, and now we can detach the top. Next up, we're gonna be disconnecting the hose from the line. I'm gonna be using a 10mm pipe wrench. We're gonna go ahead and loosen up this nut. You wanna make sure that the nut moves freely from the line, because if it doesn't, it will cause damage. Go ahead and crack it loose. Now that it's loose, I'm gonna go ahead and use a flathead screwdriver, and I'm gonna remove this little bracket. Go ahead and wedge it in between, and then just push it out. Go ahead and take it out. And now you can completely remove the nut. Go ahead and move the line away from the hose. And now we can simply grab onto the hose and crack it loose. You might have to wiggle it side to side. And pop it out. Now we can go ahead and install the new one. We want to pay attention to the notch that's on the line. We need to line that up with the bracket that's on the vehicle. Go ahead and slide it in. When you do this, you want to make sure the line is inside the hose. And when you do so, go ahead and start the threads by hand. So we don't lose much fluid. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer that valve stem that we previously installed onto the old hose. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it onto the new one. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and get the line snug. Once you get it snug, you just wanna give it a little bit more to make sure that it is secure. Now we can go ahead and install the little bracket that holds the line in place. Simply slide it in. Make sure it lines up, and now we're gonna go ahead and hit it with a mallet. It should look something like that. Now we can go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner to just clean the area. Go ahead and wipe it off. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the hose onto the caliper. Go ahead and take the stem that we previously installed. We can now install the banjo bolt. On one side, you wanna make sure you put the crush washer. And you do the same on the other side. It should look something like this. Now we can go ahead and install it onto the caliper. When you install the hose onto the caliper, you're gonna notice there's like a little notch. You wanna go ahead and make sure that you are in the center of that. Go ahead and snug it up. Now we're gonna go ahead and torque it to 22 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna go ahead and gravity bleed our caliper. I'm gonna use a small trim tool. Take the cap off the bleeder, Using a 10mm wrench, we're gonna go ahead and crack it loose. What we want is just a steady stream of fluid. This looks good, so now we can go ahead and close the bleeder. Now we're gonna go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner and just clean up the area. Now we can go ahead and unfold the wheel liner and reinstall the clip. Before we go ahead and open the cap, we want to make sure that this is free of debris. I'm going to go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner and a rag, and I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. Make sure you clean the cap. And if you notice, it's going to say DOT3. That's what we're going to be using. Now we're going to go ahead and add fluid up to the max line. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the cap. Install the tire. Now we can go ahead and install the lug nuts by hand. Snug everything up in a star pattern. With the vehicle on the ground, we're gonna go ahead and torque the lug nuts to 98 foot-pounds in a star pattern. Now get in the vehicle and feel the brake pedal. If the pedal feels soft, you will need to perform a full brake bleeding procedure. The brake master cylinder is located on the left front of the vehicle. Before we go ahead and open the cap, we want to make sure that this is free of debris. I'm going to go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner and a rag, and I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. Make sure you clean the cap. And if you notice, it's going to say DOT3. That's what we're going to be using. Now we're going to use an extractor pump, and we're going to try to get as much fluid as we can out of the master. Go ahead and slide it in and take some of the fluid out. With this, you want to get as much as you can. And over here, I have a container just so I can transfer the fluid onto it. Now we're going to go ahead and add fluid up to the max line. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the cap. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the right front of the vehicle, followed by the left front. Next, we're going to do the left rear, followed by the right rear of the vehicle. Moving to the right front of the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and bleed the caliper. First thing we need to do is remove the cap from the bleeder. Go ahead and put a 10mm wrench right on the bleeder. And now we're going to install a brake bleeding bottle. Go ahead and install the hose. And make sure that you put the bottle below the caliper. Now we're going to go ahead and have someone in the vehicle. They're going to pump up the brakes for me, and I'm going to crack it open when they hold on to them. Go ahead and pump. When he holds, go ahead and crack open the bleeder. And what you want to see is a steady flow of fluid. We're going to do that a couple times. Go ahead and close it and have him pump again. I'm going to do it one more time. This looks good. So we're going to go ahead and close the valve, remove the hose, Remove the branch. Using some brake parts cleaner, we're gonna go ahead and clean the bleeder. Wipe it off. And reinstall the cap. The next wheel will be the left front, and it will be the same procedure for that one. Now that you've done the first two calipers, we're gonna go ahead and top off the fluid. Remove the cap. Top it off. Get it back to the max line. Reinstall the cap. And now we can move on to the rear of the vehicle. Moving over to the left rear of the vehicle, we're gonna repeat the process. Remove the cap from the bleeder. Install the brake bleeding bottle. Using the 10mm wrench, go ahead and put it up over the bleeder and then install the hose. For this, we're gonna need the ignition key on and have him pump on the brakes. When the person in the vehicle is holding, we're gonna go ahead and crack open the bleeder. What we wanna see is a steady stream of fluid. We're gonna go ahead and do that one more time. This looks good, so now we can shut the ignition key off. Remove the bleeder hose. Remove the 10mm wrench. Remove our bleeder bottle. Now we can go ahead and use some brake parts cleaner. Clean the bleeder. And reinstall the cap. You will repeat the same process on the right rear of the vehicle. Now we can go ahead and top off the reservoir. Remove the cap. And get it back to the max line. Now go ahead and reinstall the cap. And now we need to torque the wheels to 98 foot-pounds. And that'll be job done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.